The sky was dark, and the wind screamed over the frozen mountains of planet Nurok 7. Snowstorms hit hard, and nothing moved for miles. This was a place forgotten by time, cold, silent, and deadly. Inside a spaceship orbiting the planet, Commander. Rayan looked at a blinking red dot on his screen. It had appeared only hours ago, a signal, unknown and weak. But it was real. "This is not from any human tech," said Dr. Lena, the science officer. Her eyes were wide with surprise. "It's old, very old, and it's single quotes S. alive." Rayan stared at the signal. It was coming from the lower valley, deep in the snow-covered mountains. No colony, no base, no life was ever recorded in that area. So what was sending this message? "We're going down," Rayan said. Within minutes, the dropship left the orbit. The team of 6 humans, all trained explorers, sat quietly as the ship entered the thick storm clouds. The shaking got worse. Snow hit the glass like small bullets. "Visibility is 10%, said pilot Asha. "We're flying blind." The ship landed hard. The ramp opened, and cold air rushed in like a slap to the face. The team stepped out in bright orange thermal suits. Their boots sinking into deep snow. Everything was silent. No birds, no wind, just silence. They turned on their scanners. The signal was still active, just 2 kilometers west. As they moved forward, they saw something strange. "Are those footprints?" asked Jen, the youngest member. The footprints were massive, larger than any creature they had ever seen. And they were fresh. The team followed them. The snow got deeper. The wind returned, loud and sharp. But the signal pulled them closer. Suddenly, the leader stopped. His hand went up. "There," he said softly. They all looked. On a ridge, partly covered in snow, was something huge. At first, it looked like a rock. But then it moved. A massive lion. Its fur was black as night, thick and shiny. But what truly shocked them was its mane. It was golden, glowing, and full of strange pod-like objects. Some were moving. Some looked like they were pulsing alive. The lion's body was covered in wounds. Its eyes were half open. It was breathing. But slowly. The explorers stood frozen. None of them had ever seen a creature like this before. It was not just big. It was majestic, ancient, powerful, but it was dying. "Are those parasites?" Dr. Lena said, scanning the lion. Her face turned pale. "They are feeding on it, slowly killing it." Rayan walked closer carefully. The lion didn't move. It didn't growl. It just stared at him. "It's not afraid," Rayan whispered. "It's waiting for help." Suddenly, the scanner beeped louder. "Commander," Lena said quickly, "these parasites are not just dangerous. They're alien, and they're spreading. If we don't stop them now, they can infect us too." The team looked at each other. This was no normal rescue. This was now a mission of survival for them and the lion. "Can we save it?" Rayan asked. "We have one chance," Lena replied. "But we need to work fast." Jeanne stepped forward. "We can't leave it like this. Look at it. It's not just an animal. It's more. I can feel it." The wind roared again. Snow fell harder. The storm was getting worse. And their ship was 2 kilometers away. But the lion didn't move. It just watched them with sad, deep eyes. Then something else happened. The ground shook slightly. The scanners went red. "Movement," shouted Asha. "Underground." Multiple signals, closing fast. The team looked around. The snow beneath them was moving. "They're coming," Rayan said. "Whatever left those parasites, they're still here." The team formed a circle, weapons ready. The lion slowly lifted its head. For a moment, it looked straight at Rayan. And then, as if it understood, it gave a low growl, not of anger, but of strength. The team knew what had to be done. They would protect the lion. They would fight the storm. They would survive this. But most of all, they would uncover the truth behind the lost signal Asterisk the storm had grown worse. Snow swirled around the team like a living thing, cold and angry. The wind howled like a warning. But the team didn't move. They were standing around the black lion, huge, silent, wounded. It lay still, its golden mane glowing faintly under the snow. No one spoke. They just stared. Commander Rayan slowly walked toward the lion, careful not to make sudden moves. His boots crunched softly in the snow. The lion's eyes followed him, calm and deep. There was no fear, no hate, only pain and something more. Trust. Lena stepped beside him. This is not just an animal, she whispered. It's biology. It's different, like it's part of something much older. Jeanne, the youngest, moved closer and knelt near the lion's massive paw. It was the size of a car tire, black and strong. But even she could see how weak it had become. Its breath was shallow. Its chest barely moved. Then Jeanne saw them again, the parasites. They were everywhere in the lion's mane. Strange alien pods, smooth and gray, clinging to its body like tumors. Some were pulsing, others twitching. They looked like small eggs, but inside something was alive. One of them opened. Jeanne gasped and fell back. A small creature, like a spider made of light and wires, crawled out of the pod. It hissed, then burrowed deeper into the lion's skin. The lion flinched. It didn't roar. It didn't fight. It just closed its eyes. They're draining it, Lena said. Feeding on its energy, its blood. But they're doing it slowly, keeping it alive like food storage. Asha looked around nervously. If those things are inside the lion, how long before they try us? Rayan scanned the area. We need to get this thing off the ground. Get it warm, safe. But how? Jeanne asked. It's huge. We can't carry it. We build shelter, Rayan replied. Right here. The team got to work. They set up a temporary shield tent around the lion using their portable walls. The heat shields activated, melting the snow and blocking the wind. But as they worked, Lena saw something in the distance. Tracks, she said. Not from us. Not from the lion. The prints were clawed, deep, heavy, and they were fresh. Something else is out there, she said. Ray and didn't look up. Let it come. We protect the lion. Inside the shelter, Jeanne took a closer look at the creature. The lion's skin was dry, cracked. The golden glow in its mane was fading. She reached out and gently touched it. The lion opened its eyes and looked at her. Jeanne gasped. In that moment, something passed between them. Not words, not thoughts, but something. The lion was more than it seemed. It was aware. It understands. US, she said. It knows we're helping. Lena nodded slowly. That explains why it didn't attack. It waited. It chose to stay alive long enough for us to come. Just then, the scanner beeped again. Multiple parasite signals moving underground, said Asha. They're circling us. The team looked at each other. This was a trap, Rayan said. The signal. It wasn't just a cry for help. It was a warning. Suddenly the shelter shook. Snow burst upward in one corner as a large, snake-like parasite shot out of the ground. Its skin was dark and slick, its eyes glowing red. The team fired. The parasite screamed and fell back into the snow. They're coming fast, shouted Aisha. More tunnels opened around them. But then, something incredible happened. The lion stood up. Slowly, painfully. Its legs shook, but it remained tall. Its golden mane burned brighter for a second. And it roared, not a normal roar, a deep, ancient sound that shook the mountains. The parasites stopped. They froze. Even the wind paused. The lion walked forward, placing itself between the humans and the tunnels. It's protecting us, Jeanne whispered. And in that moment, the team understood. Something they never expected. They weren't saving the lion. The lion had been waiting to save them. The ground was still shaking. The lion stood tall, breathing heavily. Its mane glowed like fire under snowlight. Its roar had frozen everything, but only for a moment. Suddenly, the scanners started to scream. Dozens of signals, hundreds, all around them. "They're under us," shouted Aisha, surrounding the whole valley. The parasite that had been shot earlier was now twitching in the snow. Its body melted fast, turning into black mist. Where it disappeared, the ground cracked open. Out crawled 5 more. They were faster now, larger. Their skins pulsed like black jelly. Their red eyes locked onto the team and the lion. Commander Rayan pointed his plasma rifle. "Defensive circle. Protect the lion at all costs." The explorers took position around the shelter. Guns ready. Hearts pounding. But these creatures were not simple bugs. They moved in strange, perfect patterns like soldiers. One parasite leaped through the air toward Jen. She screamed, but fired just in time. It exploded mid-air, covering her suit in dark slime. "Behind you!" Lena shouted. A parasite was crawling up the heat shield wall, reaching for the lion. This time the lion moved. With a roar, it leapt into the air, landing on the creature with a crushing smash. Its claws glowed bright gold as it tore the parasite apart. Everyone froze. The lion wasn't just fighting. It was using power, energy, controlled, precise. Dr. Lena's scanner blinked again. "These parasites," she whispered, "they're not natural. They were made, engineered. By who?" Rayan asked. Lena's face turned pale. "Maybe by the same race that once worshipped this lion." The words echoed in Rayan's mind. In Part 2, Lena had found carvings on the rocks, an ancient alien tribe who believed this lion was a protector, even a god. But now, it seemed that very same lion was the target of something evil. As the team fought off the next wave, something new appeared. From the ice, a massive shape rose. It was at least 30 feet tall. A queen parasite. Its body was covered in armor. Multiple eyes blinked. Its voice sounded like a scream and a whisper at once. The lion growled and stepped forward, but it was still weak. Bleeding. The parasites had done damage. Rayan saw it too. "If we don't stop that queen," he said, "we all die." Lena opened her pack. "We still have the neural disruptor. It's untested, but it might work on the queen's brain." Jun grabbed the device. "Then let's test it." The team ran toward the high ground. The queen noticed and roared, sending 3 parasites after them. The lion ran beside them, limping but powerful. They reached a ridge. From here, they could see everything: the shelter, the lion, the army of parasites, and the queen standing tall in the icy pit. Ray and looked at Jun. "Throw it when I say." Jun nodded, holding the round metal sphere tightly. The queen opened her mouth. A low humming sound made everyone's ears ring. Then, "Now!" Rayan shouted. Jun threw the device. It landed near the queen's head and flashed bright blue. Boom. The shockwave hit everything. The queen screamed. Her eyes glowed white. The smaller parasites dropped, shaking violently. The lion roared again, this time louder, stronger. And then the queen fell. Silence. Snow began to fall again. The team looked at each other, breathing hard, bloody, exhausted. The lion stood near the queen's body, chest rising and falling. Then it looked at the humans and bowed its head. No one spoke. In that one moment, they all knew this was no ordinary creature. It had power, wisdom, and honor. Asha stepped forward, whispering, "I think it remembers everything. The pain, the people, the war." Lena scanned the queen's body. These parasites didn't just feed on it. They were trying to control it. Jun looked at the lion, but it fought back. Even dying, it never gave in. Rayan nodded. "That's why the signal came. Not just to ask for help, but to warn us. These things are spreading." The wind picked up again. Far in the distance, More signals began to blink on the scanners. Hundreds, thousands, and so. The lion turned. It began to walk not away, but forward, toward the next battle, toward its destiny, and the humans followed. Because now they were not just explorers, they were protectors too. The battle was over. For now, smoke floated above the frozen ground. The queen parasite's body lay still, broken and quiet. The snow fell again, gently this time, as if the planet itself was finally breathing again. But the danger wasn't gone. The scanners still blinked red. Underground signals. Distant, silent, waiting. Commander Rayan walked slowly toward the lion. Its body was scratched and tired, but it stood tall, calm, proud. The golden light in its mane had faded to a soft glow. "It needs rest," said Dr. Lena. "But something tells me it won't stop until this planet is safe." Jeanne touched the lion's shoulder gently. It didn't flinch. Its deep eyes met hers, and for a moment, something passed between them again, an image. Like a dream, a tower of stone, old and cracked, a sky filled with fire, and the black lion, younger, faster, standing in front of alien children. Shielding them with its massive body, Jeanne stepped back, shaken. "I think it showed me something, a memory." Rayan looked at Lena. "Can it do that?" Lena nodded slowly. There were stories. Legends of creatures created, not just with power, but with memory stored in light. Living history. She turned and pointed toward a dark mountain in the distance. "There, that ridge. I saw something while scanning. It's not natural. Could be ruins." The lion lifted its head and let out a low, soft growl. It wanted them to go. Hours later, the team reached the base of the ridge. The snow here was thinner. The air felt heavier. A strange hum came from beneath the ground, like a heartbeat. They entered a wide cave. The lion walked ahead, its golden mane lighting the way. Inside, the walls were covered in carvings, alien writing, shapes, and scenes. One image stood out. A massive black lion standing in front of a glowing star. Behind it, crowds of alien people were kneeling. Some reached up to touch it. Some were crying. Jeanne whispered. They worshipped it, like a protector. Lena nodded. This is the memory. It lived here, fought here, protected them. It was part of this world. Suddenly, the lion growled again, soft. Sad. It walked to the center of the chamber and placed one giant paw on a stone pedestal. The room lit up. The carvings began to move. The walls turned into screens of light. A story played before their eyes. Long ago, this planet was home to a peaceful alien race called the Nuru. They lived in harmony with nature. But when the parasites arrived from the stars, they had no weapons, no defense. So they created a guardian, a living protector. The black lion. It was built using advanced biotech and memory crystals. Stronger than any beast. Smarter than any machine. Kind, brave, loyal. The lion fought for them, protected their homes, saved their children. But the parasites grew smarter. They attacked not with force, but with disease. They infected the land. And the lion. To save it, the Nuru froze the lion in ice, hidden away with a warning signal. The Nuru died out. But the lion slept, waiting. Until now, the light faded. The walls went dark again. Silence filled the cave. The team stood still. Number one spoke. Rayan finally said, "This lion. It's not just an animal. It's a living memory. A guardian from another age." Jeanne looked at the lion with tears in her eyes. It gave up everything to protect them. And they're all gone. Lena stepped forward. "But now, we're here. And it needs us." The lion walked toward Jeanne again. It pressed its head softly against her hand. A connection formed. Light shimmered for a second around them both. Then the ground shook again. This time, not from battle. From movement. Below the mountain. Parasites. Thousands. "They're waking up," Asha said. That queen was only one of many. Rayan looked at the lion. We saw your memory, he said. Now it's time to make new ones. Together. The lion roared once more, not in pain, not in fear, but in promise. They had learned the truth of the past. Now came the fight for the future. The cave trembled. The light from the carvings had faded, but the truth still burned inside the teens' minds. The black lion wasn't just an animal. It was a memory of a lost world, a warrior built to protect. And now, a broken hero standing between life and extinction. That Commander Rayan looked at the lion. It stood strong, but he could see the truth, the pain in its legs, the cuts that hadn't closed, the golden mane that flickered dimmer than before. It had survived the past. But it wouldn't survive the future, not without help. We need to move, Rayan said. If we stay here, those parasites will bury us alive. But the lion can't run, Jeanne said. She looked at it. Its head was lowered again. It was struggling to breathe. The parasite wounds were deeper now. Black liquid leaked from its side. Lena stepped forward, checking her med kit. We have one option left, Nanopatch Alpha. It can repair damage quickly, but it's not tested on alien biology. Jeanne didn't wait. We try it, or it dies. She pulled out the silver disc, placed it carefully on the lion's chest. The metal blinked, scanning. Then it hissed. A cloud of micro-healing mist spread into the lion's body. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the lion let out a deep growl, and its legs steadied. Its mane glowed brighter. The bleeding slowed. It's working, Lena whispered. It's fighting back. But before they could celebrate, the ground roared again. This time the mountain cracked. A deep rumble shook the stone under their feet. Run! A shout shouted. They rushed out of the cave, the lion following slowly behind. The air outside was cold and thick with dust. Behind them, the ridge was splitting open, from beneath the ice. They rose, towers of black bone, mouths filled with teeth, limbs like whips. Parasite giants. Those are not just creatures, Lena gasped. Those are war machines. They weren't crawling. They were walking organized, alive, intelligent. Thousands of smaller parasites swarmed behind them, a river of black crawling over the snow. Rayan grabbed his comlink. Asha, get to the ship. We need our gear and the gravity sled. We're evacuating this lion now. But sir, Asha started. No questions, move. Asha nodded and sprinted through the snow toward the hidden dropship. Meanwhile, the team circled the lion. Its legs shook again, but it stayed up. Its golden eyes burned with purpose. It didn't want to leave. It wants to fight, Jun said. But it's not strong enough yet, Lena added. We need to get it out of here. Give it time to heal. If it dies now, there's no one left to stop them. The first wave of parasites charged. Rayan raised his rifle. Buy a shot time. Hold this ground. The team fired. Blue plasma blasts lit up the snow. Parasites burst into smoke. But for every one that fell, 5 more took its place. The lion growled and pounced, slamming one beast with its paw, crushing it in the snow. Then it collapsed again, its body shaking, muscles failing. We're losing it. Jeanne screamed. Then, over the ridge, the dropship appeared. Asha hovered close, ramp down, sled ready. Rayan activated the gravity harness. Help me lift it. The team dragged the lion onto the sled. It moaned once, eyes flickering. Jun held its face. Stay with us. We're not giving up. The ramp closed. The ship lifted into the air. Below, the parasite horde screamed in rage. They clawed the air, climbing each other, trying to follow, but they were too late. Inside the ship, the lion lay on the floor, breathing slow but steady. The healing mist spread deeper into its wounds. Its mane glowed brighter now. Lena scanned the readings. It's stabilizing. We saved it. Rayan looked out the window, down at the burning valley. No, he said. Not yet. We only bought time. Behind them, the parasite hordes swarmed the ruins. The ancient cave, the carvings, the memories were all swallowed by black. But in the ship, the last black lion lived, and with it, Hope. The dropship soared through the frozen clouds, cutting across the sky like a flame through darkness. Inside. Silence. The lion lay still on the floor of the ship, its golden mane glowing gently in rhythm with its breathing. The wounds were healing, but slowly. Its body was scarred, tired, ancient. But its eyes, they were open now. Watching, listening. The team sat around it, quiet. No one celebrated. They had survived, but only just. Commander Rayan stared out the window. Far below, the valley was no longer white. It was black, crawling with parasites. They had taken the land, the mountain, the ruins, the past. And now, they wanted the future too. We can't run forever, said Jun softly. She looked at the lion. It didn't run. Lena nodded. We bought it time. But now it's our turn. We fight, or everything dies. Usha looked up from the controls. There's one place they haven't reached yet, the southern ridge, rocky, high ground. If we stand there, we can hold. Rayan turned to the team. Then that's where we make our stand. He looked at the lion. You gave everything for this world. Now let us fight beside you. The lion blinked once. Then slowly, it stood up. Not shaky, not weak. Stronger. The mane burned bright again. Its breath was steady. Its eyes were sharp. It was ready. The team landed near the southern cliffs. Snow whipped across the rocks. The valley below was full of movement, parasites marching, crawling, flying. Thousands. But they were ready. Rayan and Lena set up energy walls and motion turrets. Asha calibrated EMP spikes. Jun checked the lion's vitals and attached a small neural translator to its neck. If it tries to communicate again, she whispered, we'll hear it. The lion stood on the edge of the cliff, watching the black swarm grow. It gave a low, rumbling roar like a drumbeat through the mountains. The parasites heard it, and they answered. The sky turned dark as a second wave rose from the earth. Flying parasites like shadow birds came first, then ground swarms. Then the tower's giant parasite beasts, armored and brutal. They were all moving toward one target, the lion. This is it, Rayan said. Final stand, make it count. The lion leaped from the cliff. It landed in the snow with a thunderous crash and sprinted into the field. Glowing lines appeared across its legs, shoulders, and mane. Old technology, long asleep. Now awakened by the fight. It tore through the front lines, ripping, slamming, burning with light. Behind it, the team opened fire. Explosions lit the snow. Parasites screamed. Turrets fired nonstop, but the swarm kept coming. One tower creature reached the ridge. It opened its chest, revealing rows of parasite eggs. Too many. Then, the neural translator on the lion sparked. A voice deep, powerful, full of memory echoed through the team's comms. Guardians, stand. They froze. The lion had spoken, not with words, but with thought. Another roar shook the ground. Then bright golden light burst from its mane like a shock wave. It blasted outward, knocking parasites back in waves. The light cut through the fog. For one moment, the swarm hesitated. The team advanced. Rayan threw an energy grenade. Lena used her medical injector to boost Jun's speed. Ashe climbed the rock wall and sniped flying parasites from above. It was chaos, but it was human. Courage fighting beside something ancient and powerful. Suddenly, the ground split again. Another queen rose, bigger than before, burning red, covered in armor made of bones and black crystal. The lion turned to face it. They ran toward each other. The final battle had begun. The queen struck, first massive claws slicing the air. The lion dodged, leaped, and bit deep into her neck. Black blood poured into the snow. The queen shrieked and slammed it to the ground. No, Jeanne screamed. The lion didn't stop. It rose again and struck harder, faster, brighter. Golden light wrapped around its body. And then it jumped high into the sky. For one moment, everything froze. Then a shockwave. The lion came crashing down onto the queen's chest, exploding with a wave of light. The queen shattered. Her body collapsed, and the swarm stopped. One by one, the parasites fell, their energy broken. Silence. Returned. The team stood in the quiet snow, smoke rising. Hearts pounding. The lion stood tall, bleeding, glowing, breathing. Alive. Victorious. The snow was quiet again. Where there was once a battlefield, there was now silence. A peaceful silence. Smoke curled from the broken bodies of the parasite swarm. Black blood melted into white snow. The final queen lay shattered at the base of the cliff, her monstrous form turned to ash by the golden light. And in the center of it all stood the lion, breathing slowly. Bleeding. But alive. The last black lion, guardian of a forgotten world, had survived. Commander Rayan stepped forward, his boots crunching softly through the snow. He looked around at his team. All of them were standing, tired, bruised, but alive. They had made it. The lion turned toward them. Its mane still glowed faintly, flickering like a dying star. But in its eyes, there was something more. Peace. Dr. Lena raised her scanner. The parasite signals were gone. Every last one. The infection had ended. This planet is clean, she sighed. Her voice trembled. It's over. Jeanne walked up to the lion and placed a hand on its side. You did it, she whispered. You came back for them, and you saved us too. For a moment, nothing moved. Then the lion lowered its head and pressed its forehead gently against hers. A soft hum filled the air. The translator on its neck glowed. A final message came through. Not saved, shared. Rayan stepped forward. Shared? Lena understood first. The lion wasn't just protecting the planet. It was searching for someone to carry the memory forward. It knew the Nuru were gone. But now, it has us, Jeanne finished. Later that day, the team returned to their ship. The lion walked beside them, not behind, not ahead, but as one of them. Asha looked out at the mountains. Do you think more will come? More parasites? Rayan shook his head. Not for a while. That was a queen nest. Destroying it might have wiped their entire network here. But if they return, Lena added, we'll be ready. Jeanne turned toward the lion. And we won't be alone. They reached the ship. Before boarding, the lion stopped and looked back. Far in the distance, the ruins of the ancient Nuru temple still stood silent witnesses to the past. The lion roared one final time. It wasn't loud. It was soft, warm, a goodbye, or maybe a promise. 2 weeks later, Earth orbit commanding a large viewing room. A crowd of scientists, soldiers, and leaders watched the screen. Footage from Nurok 7 played. The parasite horde, the temple carvings, the battle, and the lion. This changes everything, said one general. It confirms the legends, said a researcher. The Nuru civilization, bio-linked memory, intelligent guardians. And now, said a UN leader, humanity is part of that story. They turned toward the explorer team standing at the front. Rayan stepped forward. We didn't go there to become heroes. We went to answer a signal. He looked at his team, then at the lion, standing quietly beside them. But we came back with something more. 3 months later, New Nurok outpost on the same snowy planet, a human science station, had been built near the southern cliffs. Not a fortress, not a colony, a home. The lion now lived in the valley, strong again, healthy, free. It watched the humans build, explore, and plant new life into the frozen soil. It walked beside them, not as a beast, but as a symbol. Children called it King of Ice. Researchers called it the Living Archive. But Jen called it what it truly was, the first of us. A creature of the past, a protector of the present, and a bridge to the future. The lion sat quietly one evening, watching the twin suns set behind the mountains. Snow fell softly. A soft voice came through the translator. Together now, we remember. And, far away, in another part of the galaxy, a faint signal blinked. Another lion? Another call? Another beginning? No one knew, but now, humanity would answer. Because the story of the Black Lion was no longer just a legend. It was history. Shared, forever.